Hello and good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Today is a pre-recorded video for Saturday, July 25th, 2024. So let's get the commercial out of the way. If you want to shop for Stampin' Up! Products with me, which I would appreciate, thank you. Go to my website, MemoryINKers.com. That'll take you straight to my Stampin' Up! Website. Email MemoryINKers@gmail.com. For the month of July and like the first weekish of August, my hostess code is ZGH9J4DG. There's also this bit.ly link here if you have that handy. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to slide this out of the way so that I have a little bit more room to work. Pushing it all the way out of the way. Okay, so I am going to talk about kits. I have just been playing with a whole bunch of kits lately, probably because it's what I did for volume, and I can't help myself. I get carried away. You know how I am. So we are going to do this kit right now. This is available on my website, MemoryINKers.com. It is an online exclusive kit. Comes in this great box. We love boxes, don't we? But, okay, these are the ones that I finished. It comes with an ink spot, a Blackberry Bliss. These are the directions. So it's very similar to all of the kits that we've got. Including Paper Pumpkin, that have the awesome directions with them. Also, if you are not aware, on the back of all of our directions, it'll tell you the coordinating colors for each stamp set and what it contains. This one has 8 cards, 8 envelopes. It's number 163905, and it costs $23. So, and then it shows you everything it comes with. Now, I've used a lot of what it comes with. Let me see if I can zoom up here and you guys can see it. It's kind of glary. But you see you get a foil sheet. You're going to get card bases. I think those are envelopes, 2 different styles. I'll show them to you. Some labels, some ribbon, the spot, dimensionals, stamp set, bling, 2 different card bases, more pop-up punch-out die cut thingies, 2 sheets of those, and it comes with a block. So this is a great giftable kit for someone that you know wants to get into it. And look at how gorgeous. Oh, you guys, so beautiful. So these are the recommended card designs. So here's one. You see how it has these pieces stuck to it, and the bling and some ribbon. So pretty. And this one, the back is that sort of marbleized, I don't know what to call it. It's like those dots paper. And then the inside, white, of course. And then this is the other card that is recommended. Can you see all the foil on it? There's foil in here and in here. So pretty. But look at the back. The back is gorgeous. So I'm going to show you some alternatives with both of these card styles. But look, I mean, just if you just make these. All right, so let me start digging stuff out here. Hold on while I pull it all out. So these are the envelopes, and see how it says kindly delivered to? That is one of the stamps in this stamp set. But there are 2 different envelopes, both of them so pretty. Insides are white, but the backs are decorated. So gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And you get 4 of each design for the envelopes. Then we have, you get 2 sheets that have 2 of these pretty flowers on them. You get 1 foil sheet that has 4 of this, you hold that up like that, this pretty leaf design. Then you get the 2 different card designs. And then these are things I'm going to use to create. You get glue dots, the gems, dimensionals. I already have the stamps on blocks, so I'm ready, but this is the stamp set that comes with it. You get some gorgeous ribbon, which I want you to see for my projects. I did these ahead of time so they had time to dry. I used blends to color them. This blend is, I believe, let me see, this is Pool Party, which is, I don't think it's one of the colors. Let me look real quick. No, it is, but it ended up matching because I did it with the light. See, here's the dark, and I found that the light matches the background a little bit more. And then Blackberry Bliss. Nope, Berry Burst. Sorry, Dark Berry Burst. Because there wasn't the other colors that I wanted, that we didn't have them. So that's what I used to color those. And that's this white ribbon. And then the block, which again is a really nice sturdy block. When you're new to Paper Pumpkin, by the way, you get one of these blocks in your first Paper Pumpkin. All right, and then that's just the cardboard. So let's look at some of the alternatives. We are going to make this one and this one, but with different colored backgrounds today. Those are the two we're going to play with. But here's one alternative where I took the card that was meant to go like that and I turned it sideways, and then the same card background. And it's just different from the originals, which I hid. Here they are. Here are the originals. So, there we go. All right, so we are going to remake these two with the products that I have left today. All right. So, I actually, at this point, am not using this foil or this last piece. I'm trying to remember if I had a third idea in there. Anything's, let me see, one, okay. I'm not sure. All right, so I am going to start with making these two. So I picked different backgrounds this time from those two. I'm going to be using Petunia Pop and Wild Wheat for my background pieces. This one card design is what I'm going to use for this. And then I've got labels and stuff which I haven't decided yet what to do with. And I do have extras. So it looks like I'm going to do 4 cards for you guys today. So, yay! So I'm going to pull this stuff out of here so that I have it handy as I am crafting. Don't remember if I'm using that, and I'll probably grab my other glue dots. Okay, so how did I do this? Well, I was trying to do a fancy fun fold with this, and I was like, I don't know, and I kind of did this, and I was looking at it, I went, oh, that's kind of cool. So that's where that idea came from. And when I flipped it over, I went, oh, that's kind of cool. And that's where that design came from. So here is what I am doing. I'm grabbing my awesome paper trimmer. Move my score blade out of the way. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get it cut down because this is 5.5 and I want it to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to come over. So here's 5.5, right? So I'm going to come over and I'm going to do half, because there's 5, this is 5 1/4, this is 5.5. So I'm going to go in between those two, and I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to save those parts for the inside. I'm going to flip it around. Now I can go to 5 1/4 right there. And the reason I did it that way is this way I'm getting a nice even trim from the gold foil mark. So now I want to trim it down to this is 8.5, and I want to trim it down to 8, right? So I'm going to start by taking 1/4 of an inch off here, and this time I'm going to this side of the grid line because I want this. Did I do that? Hang on. No, I did not. Never mind, ignore that. I'm going to go to 2 inches. Notice I flipped it over. I'm going to go to 2 inches on this side and set that over there. And then I'm going to go to 2 inches on this side. Whoop. So now I have the pieces for my card like this one here. Let's set those there. Now this one is wider. It is now too wide for me. It is, I need it to be 4 inches wide, and it is actually 4.5. So I thought about which way am I going to trim this down. Do I want to make it even? Well, I was looking at the design, and there's more purple over here. So what I did was I actually trimmed it to 4 inches on this side where it looked like there was more light. But you know what? This time I am going to fake it. And I'll take a little bit off both sides just to show you 2 different ways to do it. Now I can get this to 4 inches. There we go. All right. All right, so now I have all of my pieces. Now what I need to decide is what is going to go on what color. So like I said, I have Petunia Pop and I have Wild Wheat. So which one? And this is where you just play around for a few minutes and go, well, that kind of brings out the gold. And this kind of brings out the purples. I guess I should say Petunia Pinks, Petunia Pops. But what would it look like if I did it the other way? I think on this one, it's a little more cheerful on the Petunia Pop, where this one, I think, can hold up because it has so much more of the color. So that's what I'm going to do for these. Super simple, right? So I'm going to put those together. Don't forget, I do have 2 more. And I'm going to grab my labels. And I'm going to do basically the same thing I did on the other cards with as far as sentiments and things go, I think. Yeah. All right. Because I never have too many birthday cards. I don't know about you, but I feel like I can always use a birthday card. But just to be different, I'm going to take the Just a Note. I love that sentiment, Just a Note. And I'm going to stand up so I can see if I'm in the center. Bring it down here where I can actually see past my phone. There we go. Not perfectly centered, but close enough. And then this one, I'll go ahead. Look, I have a bunch of stuff on here. Because I have so many videos I'm trying to set up. When you guys are seeing this one, I will have had my procedure on Thursday, and you're seeing this on Saturday, and I just don't know how I'm going to feel. So I'm going to be taping a bunch of what am I saying? I'm going to be taping a bunch of videos. Okay, so that way I have them in stock. I'm going to try to always do my Tuesdays live like normal. Set that aside. Okay, so now looking at this one, I did add the color to it. So I think I'm going to add the color after I adhere it. Now, you're going to want some basic white for the inside of these cards. And where are my samples? Oh, they're up here. No, they're not. They're right here in front of me. Golly, you guys. But see how I put some of what was torn off on the inside of the card, and I believe I did it on this one too. Yep, just to add some more fun to the card. So I'm not going to do that on the video, but that's why you save these kind of things, okay? All right, so again, I'm going to fold my cardstock in half. And the cardstock is your standard 5.5 by 8.5 design. And I am going to adhere this on to here with just some of our awesome liquid glue. You could use the glue dots and stuff that come in the kit. So if you're giving this as a gift, remember that they don't necessarily need to have an adhesive, but if you want to add a little touch, I want to say this adhesive is $6 in the annual catalog. I always have a ton of it. I mean, when I order it, I order like 10 at a time because I go through them so much. I was not a fan, or I thought I would not be a fan of liquid glue, and yet I so am. So I put this one about where I thought it should go, and now I'm just going to line this one up. And I love how it lines up. So pretty. So now I am going to take this funky little, what the heck is that design, and I can stamp over and see how it adds more dimension to the flowers. There we go. Now, there is a seam. Obviously, there is a seam on this card, but I don't think anybody is going to really worry about that, although I didn't get these perfectly even, let's be honest, but it's okay. Look, I even have funky marks in the same spot. That's funny. Okay, so there is that base. I am not going to add that that stamp to this card, to the one with this design. And part of the reason I decided not to do that is because I thought this would get too confused where they're kind of touching each other, and they look fine just like that. So there is that. And then I'm just going to do the just a note. Let me close this up, and I'm going to use dimensionals. Okay, everybody, I have my take your pick tool. Don't be shocked, Carrie has it handy. What is going on? So much going on in the world right now, and Carrie remembered her take your pick tool. Go figure. Okay, so just a note, and for this one I kind of put it in the middle. I'm not real sure. I think I might lift it up just a little bit here, so you can kind of see the peak of the flower. So it's close. It's close, but it's not exactly the same. But see what a difference? I mean, what a difference. What colors are popping out at you between these two cards? And then, of course, we need to add some gems. When you have bling, use it. It is important, in just a personal opinion. So you can decide where you want it. Oh, look, that didn't tear out right there. Let me fix it, because it's going to bug me. There we go. I pulled it out so fast, I got part of the white part. Okay, so now the gems. So I tend to put my gems in very similar places all the time, but certainly you don't have to. I don't think I want one on that one this time. So here we go. So there is the difference between these two cards, and I know it's the same card, but I really do think they have a different feel because of the background. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I hope you're commenting, even though I'm not live. I do hope you're commenting on this, and I will check them out later, I promise. All right, so now we're going to do this card. And this one was on Lost Lagoon. Oh, this one was on Mossy Meadow, by the way. So this was on Lost Lagoon, but we're going to go to, I knew the name of it 2 minutes ago. Gosh, it's so sad. Oh, I know where I can look. You can look on the back of this, because this is where I got my inspiration. It is Wild Wheat. It's an in color, you guys. I will know all the in colors like just before they go out of in coloring. Out of in coloring? You know what I mean. Okay, so again, just making my card base. And for this one, I did use some ribbon. So we are going to grab the ribbon and find the end of my covering, which I should have taken off before I started taping, right? Gosh. There we go. Put that in my box. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just snip a piece that I think is long enough. And I like to put a little adhesive on the back of it. You can use glue dots. Well, why don't I do that? Why don't I use some glue dots for you guys? I know it comes with glue dots, but yeah, I'll just use these because they're here and they're handy. So sometimes I use the adhesive that Stampin' Up! Has, the seal. Sometimes I don't. But I like it to be able to kind of sort of stay in place for as long as possible. And then just pick these off. Now these are going to not want to come off as well on fabric like ribbon. So just make sure that that is pressed in really good and then pick it off. And usually that is enough. Did I get it? Nope, see, it didn't stick. Nope, now it's stuck there. That's fine, it'll work. So now I'm gonna put this on my grid here on my awesome glass mat, which is available online, MemoryINKers.com. And I am going to place it right about there, and I'm trying to line it up with the lines on my grid paper. All right, now here's where I am going to grab some of my Stampin' Seal, because I like to make sure that the ends are pushed on very, very tightly before I adhere it. So I want to make sure it looks straight to me, to my eye, even though I measured. Close enough. Close enough. Now I can adhere this again to my cardstock, my Wild Wheat. This one does have the score mark in it. It can be seen, but I think it kind of works, just like the one that where you can see where it was trimmed and put together. It kind of works because it's the mirror image, almost like, I think it's called a Rorschach test. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So then I have my sentiment, which I am again going to put up on dimensionals. Now I have this thing about ribbon, in case you didn't notice from just a moment ago, not necessarily wanting to hold everything. So I kind of wanted these off a little bit, and because of that, I am going to just put some half pieces, or maybe even quarter pieces, in the other areas, because I didn't want it to start falling off the part where it's touching ribbon, if that makes sense. The ribbon is going to be like right there, and I wanted it to be on some of the cardstock, not just the ribbon. Okay, if that makes sense, because if I'd have put the dimensionals here and here, they would have definitely fallen on top of the ribbon. This way, they're going to be part on the ribbon and part off the ribbon. So that's my little tip for that, because, you know, as cards get old, if you're not careful, they will fall apart, and we don't want that to happen. We want these cards to be in people's scrapbooks for their great-great-grandchildren, right? I know some of you are like, Carrie, seriously? Yeah, why not? Why not? And a little more bling. So, on this one, I used all of the bigger bling, which I think is a lot of fun. So, I'm going to do that again. Why not? Sometimes I use all the bigger bling. Sometimes I use all the smaller bling. It totally depends on my mood of the day. And these are in totally different places. I know, shocking! So there you go. There are those two designs. And again, what do you notice popping out? On this one, you see a lot of the Lost Lagoon popping up. And on this one, the golds sort of pop up here. So I know Wild Wheat isn't technically a gold, but I mean, to me, it looks kind of gold. So there are those two. Let me take a quick pause and get ready for the next cards. Okay, so for my next one, I made these two alternatives, which I did show you, and I am going to remake this one for us today because I just really like it. Plus, it lets me show you how to use one of the stamps that you may not have been sure of. So that is where I will start. This is that funky little grid, and I am just going to stamp it, and then I'm going to flip it. And notice I'm kind of making it slightly curved shaped. You don't have to do that. You can do it perfectly straight. But I kind of did it on this one, kind of at an almost an uneven angle, and I thought, well, for the next one, I'm going to try doing that. And then I used the Just a Note for this one. Nope, that's the wrong one. Just a Note. And I am going to stamp that right up here. This is the same color that comes in the kit. It's just my big one. It's Blackberry Bliss, and that's what you get as your spot. All right, so now I've got my background done. Super simple, right? It's already pre-scored for me. This is such a beautiful kit, just making the cards as they are, but it's just so fun. So I'm going to use the last of my pieces here, my die cut pieces, to make this card. Now I'm popping out the foil. There's not a lot of foil left on this negative piece, but if you're like me, you might look at it and go, oh, I have like some leaves and stuff that will fit on these pieces and things that I can then add to other cards. So I mean, we sell gold foil, but here's some gold foil. So use it. All right. So now one of the things that I did on this card, and I wanted to be sure to show you, is I did a little weaving with these two pieces. I didn't want to just stick it behind there because, you know, it works, it's fine, but it's a little on the boring side. So I did a little weaving. I'm going to stick that gold leaf up in there. And then I am going to foil this back like that. And, whoops, it is stuck. So just take your time and decide how you want this to work. Now this one is actually coming out a little bit different than the first one, which is fine with me. I'm so okay with that. Look, it's different. So I'm going to go with that. So now I have them kind of where I want them. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my dimensionals to hold them together. So I'm going to put a dimensional right there, and then one right here. And now these might need either the mini dimensionals, which do not come in the kit. You can see we have the minis, or you can cut your dimensionals like I did before. But I definitely want to add some more dimensionals to this. I want it to hold right there. And right here. Now see this? I don't know if you guys can see it, but hang on. I'm trying to pick it up without having it fall apart before I'm done. If you can see right here, I can see where that's going to stick out funny, which on the other one I was fine with, but on this design, I don't want it to. So I'm going to snip that off. And then I can put my dimensional right there, and some other little ones to hold up some of these other leaves that are sticking out. Okay, you can get crazy and you can do some halvesies on these and up here. Let me see if I can fit one more up there, maybe. Yeah, okay. All right, so now I have all the dimensionals on there, and I'm going to carefully, because I don't want them to pull apart, where I have them holding something together, like up here. I think that's the last one that's holding together. All right. Now all I have to do is make sure I don't hide my just a note, or at least don't hide it too much. So there we go. And I pre-tied a bow, and I did my thing. Oh, I thought I did. I guess I didn't. I guess I decided to show you guys. You know how I always say I put tear and tape on the back of my bows, and I have a trick, and I have showed this before, but I'm going to show it again, and I'm going to stand up so I can get a little closer. So here's my piece of tear and tape. I take it and fold it back on itself, okay, like so. And then when I peel this piece away, it sticks really good. And now I have a loose piece, which again, how I feel about ribbon, it doesn't always like to, adhesives don't always like to stick to ribbon. So I can push this one on really tight, and then I have a tab. I have a little tab that will help me to ensure that it's stuck. And then I can put my bow right there. And of course, we're going to add some bling to that. This time, I think I am going to use 2 little ones and 1 big one. So there you go. Almost the same, not quite, because of the way I decided to weave the this through. It's not terribly different. It's just a little bit different. And then there is this one, which is similar, just landscape mode. And I didn't put any of this background on here. That would have been interesting, but I just didn't. So there are those. So 2 more cards. I'm getting a lot out of this kit, don't you think? So for this one, I cut up that main card base again, which was kind of like this, right? And I cut it up, I cut it in half, and then I cut them down to 4 by 5 1/4. So now I have 2 different cards. And I'm going to do one on Lost Lagoon. And I think I decided this way. And one is going to be on Blackberry Bliss. I think that's what I decided. Is it? Yeah, because this one has the bling. And Lost Lagoon is kind of one of those colors that I don't always like. But then when I use it with the right thing, I do really like it. Because it's kind of a dull color. So this bling will help it not be so dull. And I'm just going to fold my cardstock. Again, I would definitely put some basic white 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside. You will have strips cut from this also that you can use, like I did on that other card. And then I'm going to set this on here. This one's going to be super simple. I'm just going to go super simple on this one. And just go ahead and adhere it down. No ribbon, at least not at this point. No wraparound ribbon, which is usually what I go to. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not always that ingenious with ribbon. I mean, sometimes I see people do all this stuff with tearing apart the ribbon and all that. And I actually thought about doing that with this ribbon, but then I looked at how it was made and thought, I don't know if that'll work. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use this, I think, on there. I'm trying to remember what I decided to do. That. I'm going to use that one. All right. And like I said, I can't get enough birthday. I can't. It's like an impossibility for me. So weird for me to have 2 stamps on one block. But like I said, I've got so many things lined up to video today for you guys for the next few weeks. Okay, so I've got that. Then I'm going to go ahead and use this background for the flowers again, just to add a little bit more to them. Let me see if I can save this, because I should have done it first, right? Now look how interesting when I did that one, I purposely pushed it out. You may not like it, but I think it's kind of interesting how it kind of extended the flower a little bit. Then do this. Like I said, should have done it before I put it on the card. I know. But perfection is overrated. So there we go. That one barely showed. But now we have that all ready. So now I'm going to take some ribbon and I am just going to make a V with it. And I like to be sure my ribbon is stuck down. So I know that I want this to kind of go right there-ish. So I'm going to want my ribbon to go in that similar spot. And then my dimensionals. Now the dimensionals on this one, because there's a lot of ribbon, I may not be able to get the dimensionals where there isn't any ribbon, but maybe if I go close to the edge on this side, I'll catch some of the cardstock there, but I'm not going to catch it over here. It's not going to happen. So there we go. And of course, bling, gotta have the bling. And I think I'm just going to put the bling all over. And I'm using the big ones again. I don't know why. It's just what I decided to grab. So there you go. Fun, right? Super simple, but I think anybody who gets this would really like it. And now I have this one. Now, this one I was trying to decide what I was going to do with it. Again, a Blackberry Bliss cardstock, a half sheet for my card base. And of course, I'll remind you again about the basic white. So for this one, I'm actually going to do it landscape like that. And I am going to use the little tag and the just a note. So you see now I've got leftover tags that I can use for other projects. I have one of each. And I love them. They're so cute. They're very, very cute. So now if I'm going to put this here, I have to decide what else am I going to do. Am I going to put it there? Am I going to put it up here? I don't know yet. So let us play. Let's add some more of that, I don't know what you call it, leafy extensions to it. This block is a mess. Ay, ay, ay. Let me see. By the way, you guys, I had this thing so glued up. It's getting it again. I did use Windex on it. It cleans up with water if you're really quick, but if you're like me and you're crafting for a really long time, it gets pretty messy. So just keep a spray bottle of like some Windex or something handy and it will be fine. You know what I'm going to do just for fun? I am going to add that, and then I think I might go off and up. Just to add some more. I don't know, I'm getting carried. I might be getting a little too carried away. I may have added too much. I don't know. But hey, alternatives are to be fun, right? So let's just have some fun and not worry about it. Again, this is from one of the cards that I cut in half. I just think this was just a beautiful set. It's called something kindness. What is it? Hold on. It is called Expressions of Kindness. So cute. So now I think I will put that there. Now I am unsure, but that's what I'm going to do, because that was my decision, and this video is getting to be a little long, and we have our limits, right? It's fun to watch, but you want to go play. But I definitely would recommend this this set, because you know, it's kind of like the current paper pumpkin that I just I'll be doing live, which you will have already seen because it would be later today while I'm taping this. I'm going to be doing the paper pumpkin, which all of the extra kits are sold out on it already. But this one, last time I looked, was still available online, and it's so pretty that I think that you will agree it is definitely worth it. I think it was, what did I say? $23. But it comes, like I said, it comes with ink, comes with a stamp set, comes with a block. Awesome gift. And if you don't want to give the card, like if you want to just make a bunch of cards and and you have to buy the kit, and the kit has all those things, and you don't want, you know, 3 stamp sets. So give the stamp set away with maybe 1 of each card. And then save the rest for yourself, right? But anyway, there you go. So I'm going to real quick go through all the cards again. So here's those 2. And there. And then that one, which I redid from that one. There's one. There's the one that was like it. And then these 2 were the same. And then, of course, the beautiful cards that Stampin' Up! Suggested, which are just so pretty in their own right. So I hope you liked this. Again, if you want to go shopping, please go to MemoryInkers.com. This is the hostess code for July and the first week of August 2024. Z as in zebra, G as in goat, H as in hen, 9, J as in jaybird, 4, D as in dog, G as in gopher. All right. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye.